My precious chosen one, you were not meant to find this message by accident. The fact that you are watching this right now is not random. It is not coincidence. It is divine timing. And I must speak quickly, because what I am about to reveal concerns what will unfold before midnight. Yes, before this day ends, something hidden around you will begin to shift. Archangel Michael is standing near your household tonight. His sword is not raised in anger, but in protection. He is not here to frighten you. He is here to prepare you, because someone close to you is hiding something important. And heaven has decided that you were chosen to see this before midnight. There is a reason your spirit has felt uneasy lately. A subtle tension. A strange silence. A look in someone's eyes that did not fully match their words. You tried to ignore it. You told yourself you were overthinking. But deep inside, your discernment kept whispering, "Pay attention. Listen carefully." This is not about paranoia. This is about spiritual awareness. Archangel Michael says there has been a veil placed over a truth in your immediate circle. Not by accident, but by fear. The person hiding this is not necessarily evil. They are conflicted. They are afraid of consequences. Afraid of how you might react. Afraid of losing control over a situation that has already begun to unravel. And here is the shocking part. You were spiritually selected to uncover it, not through confrontation, but through revelation. Before midnight, you may notice something unusual. A message, a invasion, a slip of the time, or even a sudden realization in your own mind that connects all the dots. When it happens, do not panic. Do not react impulsively, because this exposure is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to protect you. Archangel Michael is positioning you ahead of the truth so that when it surfaces, you are not shaken. Right now, as you listen, there is a spiritual shift happening in your home environment. Energy is rearranging. Conversations are aligning. Timing is accelerating. The one who has been hiding something feels pressure building. They cannot carry it much longer. You might have sensed distance recently. Maybe they have been overly kind, or unusually quiet, or strangely defensive over small matters. These are not random behaviors. These are signs of an internal storm. And here is what heaven wants you to understand. The hidden matter involves a decision that affects your peace. It may be financial. It may be emotional. It may be connected to a promise that was not fully honored. But whatever it is, it has weight. And that weight has been pressing on the spiritual atmosphere of your living space. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your house tonight as a guardian of truth. His presence means the light cannot survive much longer. Darkness cannot remain where divine light had been summoned. But you must remain calm. If you react with anger, you will miss the blessing hidden inside the exposure. Because yes, there is a blessing in this revelation. You were chosen to see it before midnight so that you can respond with wisdom instead of shock. This is your advantage. The enemy thought you would be the last to know. Heaven decided you would be the first to be prepared. There is something powerful about being warned ahead of time. It shifts you from victim to victor, from confusion to clarity, from fear to authority. And Archangel Michael says, do not confront without confirmation. Let the truth reveal itself naturally. Watch it. Listen. Observe. The signs will be subtle but undeniable. Tonight carries a spiritual deadline. Not because something catastrophic is coming, but because truth has reached its expiration point in secrecy. The person hiding this secret has been battling internally. They care about you more than you realize. but they underestimated your spiritual sensitivity. They thought you would never notice the small inconsistencies. But heaven noticed. And because heaven noticed, you were guided here. There is also something else you must know. This exposure is not only about them. It is about you stepping into a higher level of discernment. You are evolving spiritually. Your intuition is sharpening. Your connection to divine protection is strengthening. That is why Archangel Michael is involved. When Michael appears in moments like this, it means protection is already in place. It means you are not walking into chaos alone. It means the outcome will ultimately favor your growth. Before midnight, you may feel a sudden urge to check something. Trust that instinct. It is not suspicion. It is guidance. But remember this. Respond, do not react. Your silence may speak louder than accusation. Your calmness may unlock confession. Your steadiness may cause truth to surface without force. And when it does, you will realize something powerful. You were never behind. You were always ahead. The one hiding this important matter does not expect you to be spiritually prepared. That is your divine edge. Archangel Michael says the house you are living in must remain a place of clarity. No hidden tension. No buried truth. No silent deception. Light is being restored to your environment. If your heart is beating a little faster right now, that is confirmation. Your spirit recognizes this message. Stay centered tonight. Pray quietly if you can. Invite peace into your space. Speak protection over your household. Because before midnight strikes, something concealed will shift. And when it does, you will not break. You will rise. Beloved soul, the atmosphere around you is not ordinary tonight. There is a quiet tension building beneath normal conversations, beneath routine movements, beneath casual smiles. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that when truth begins to surface, it rarely announces itself loudly at first. It moves like a whisper before it becomes a wave. You may notice small changes in behavior. The person close to you who is hiding something important may seem distracted. They may avoid eye contact, or they may suddenly try too hard to act normal. This is not your imagination. Your spiritual senses are sharpening. And the reason you were chosen to see this before midnight is because you are strong enough to handle it with maturity. Archangel Michael is not revealing this to create conflict. He is revealing it to position you in power. There is a difference between reacting emotionally and responding spiritually. Tonight, you are being called to respond spiritually. The hidden matter has been growing quietly. It may involve a decision that was made without telling you. It may involve information that was delayed intentionally. It may even involve something that was meant to protect you but ended up creating distance instead. Whatever it is, the truth is now heavier to carry than the secret itself. And that is why heaven intervenes at this moment. There is a spiritual clock ticking, not to scare you, but to prepare you. Before midnight, clarity will begin to take shape. It may not come as a dramatic confrontation. It may arrive as a subtle realization. A detail that suddenly makes sense. A memory that connects with a current behavior. A conversation that feels different. Archangel Michael says, do not rush the process. Let the truth unfold naturally. When fruit is ripe, it falls without force. When truth is ready, it exposes itself without pressure. Right now, your greatest strength is calm awareness. You may feel tempted to ask direct questions. You may feel a rising urge to confront. But wait. Watch carefully. There is power in patience. When you stay steady, the other person feels the weight of their own silence. And often, that weight becomes the very thing that pushes them to speak. You were chosen because you carry discernment. Not everyone could handle knowing beforehand. Some would create chaos. Some would act from fear. But you are being trusted with advanced awareness. That is honor. Archangel Michael stands as a guardian over your emotions tonight. He wants your heart protected. He wants your peace intact. Because when the truth appears, it must find you grounded, not shaken. There is also a deeper layer to this message. The hidden matter is not only about what someone else concealed. It is about what you are stepping into. A new level of wisdom. A new level of spiritual authority in your household. A new level of inner strength. When truth surfaces, it clears space. And when space is cleared, growth begins. The enemy hoped you would discover this in a moment of vulnerability. Heaven chose to prepare you in advance. That preparation is your shield. If this message resonates with your spirit, take a moment right now to like this video, to share it with someone who may also need divine clarity tonight, and to comment that you are ready for truth. When you engage, you are not just supporting a channel. You are amplifying a message that could awaken someone else before their midnight moment arrives. Subscribe to this space if you have not already, because these messages are not random. They are timed. They are purposeful. They are meant to reach chosen hearts. There is something powerful unfolding, and you are part of it. Archangel Michael says the person hiding something is not prepared for your calm strength. They may expect anger. They may expect trauma. They may expect accusation. But when they see steadiness in your eyes, something inside them will shift. And here is where it becomes even more important. Your silence tonight is not weakness. It is strategy. Let the truth come to you. You may notice a conversation opening before midnight that feels slightly unusual. Pay attention to tone. Pay attention to pauses. Pay attention to what is not being said. Sometimes what is missing reveals more than what is spoken. You are being elevated through this experience. Even if the hidden truth feels uncomfortable at first, it is clearing your path. Archangel Michael whispers that your home must operate in light, not shadows. And when light enters, shadows disappear naturally. Prepare your heart, not for battle but for clarity. There is a shift in the air. You can feel it. The tension is not random. The anticipation is not coincidence. You were chosen to be awake while others sleep spiritually. And as this night progresses, something will align. Hold steady. What unfolds next will make everything clearer than you ever expected. Trust me, what is about to connect will change how you see the situation entirely. Chosen vessel of discernment, the hour is drawing closer, and something in the spiritual realm has already shifted in your favor. You may not see it yet with your physical eyes, but the atmosphere around you has begun to rearrange itself. Archangel Michael is not only standing guard, he is actively dismantling confusion that once clouded your perception. The truth that was hidden is losing its protection. The silence that once felt heavy is beginning to crack. You might feel a strange mix of calm and anticipation right now. That is not anxiety. That is awareness. When heaven prepares you ahead of exposure, it replaces shock with steadiness. It replaces chaos with clarity. And that is exactly what is happening within you. The person who has been hiding something important can feel this shift too. They may not understand it spiritually, but internally they sense that time is running out. Secrets create pressure, and pressure eventually demands release. Before midnight, that pressure will peak. Archangel Michael says this is not about punishment. It is about purification. When something hidden comes to light, it cleanses the space it once occupied. Your home, your connection, your emotional environment, all of it is being purified through revelation. Here is something you must remember. The truth may not arrive in the form you expect. It may not be a dramatic confession. It may not be a tearful admission. It could be something small that opens a larger understanding. A sentence spoken casually. A notification seen unintentionally. A realization that suddenly feels undeniable. Do not dismiss small signs tonight. Sometimes heaven whispers before it declares. You were chosen to see this before midnight because your heart is strong enough to hold truth without collapsing under it. That strength did not appear overnight. It was built through previous trials, through moments when you had to remain calm even when you wanted answers immediately, through times when you felt alone but were actually being strengthened. Archangel Michael says this moment is connected to your spiritual promotion. When you handle hidden truth with grace, you rise. When you choose wisdom over impulse, you expand. The enemy expected emotional reaction. Heaven expects opposed authority. And there is more. The hidden matter has delayed something in your life. A decision. A movement. A breakthrough. Once this truth surfaces, stagnation will break. Energy that felt stuck will begin flowing again. You may even notice that as midnight approaches, your thoughts become clearer. Your intuition becomes sharper. Pay attention to that clarity. It is guidance. The one hiding something may struggle internally tonight. They may attempt to maintain control. But control fades when divine timing steps in. And divine timing has already stepped into your situation. Do not fear what is coming to light. Fear only ignoring what your spirit confirms. Archangel Michael reminds you that truth revealed under divine protection cannot destroy you. It can only refine you. If your spirit feels aligned with this message, prepare your heart with calm expectation. You are not being warned to panic. You are being warned to stand firm. And when the moment arrives, whether it is a confession, a discovery, or an undeniable realization, breathe first. Speak second. Silence can be more powerful than confrontation. There is dignity in how you will handle this. The person involved may expect resistance. Instead, they will encounter strength. They may expect accusation. Instead, they will meet clarity. That contrast will shift the entire outcome. Before midnight strikes, something concealed will no longer remain comfortable in darkness. And when it emerges, it will not overpower you. It will empower you. Archangel Michael says this is the closing of one spiritual chapter and the opening of another. A chapter of sharper discernment, cleaner boundaries, stronger peace. You were not chosen randomly. You were chosen because you are ready. If this message has touched your spirit, type "I receive divine clarity" in the comments if this is speaking directly to you. Lesson code 394 is now activated over your household. As this revelation aligns with your midnight hour, understand something deeper. When you sow into light, you participate in the exposure of darkness. When you support the spreading of messages like this, you become a vessel that helps awaken others before their own midnight arrives. The Lord declares, as you shine light, I will cause light to shine upon you. This is not just a video. This is a movement of discernment and protection. Right now, you may feel a stirring to act. That stirring matters. When you give through super thanks, when you join as a member, or when you release a seed through the PayPal link in the description, you are not giving to a platform. You are fueling a mission that reaches souls standing on the edge of unseen battles. You are placing oil in the lamp so that others are not left in darkness. And heaven sees it. The same way you were chosen to see this before midnight, someone else is waiting for a message that could change their life. Be the reason that message reaches them. Release your support as a prophetic act. Let your generosity become a sword of light in Archangel Michael's hand. And as you give, may doors open before you, may peace guard your home, and may divine clarity multiply in your life. Do not hesitate when your spirit nudges you. Act now. So now. Stand now. Faithful heart, the atmosphere has grown quieter now, but do not mistake quietness for stillness. Beneath the surface, movement is happening. The unseen realm is adjusting pieces that you did not even know were out of place. Archangel Michael is not only guarding your household, he is guiding events with precision. What seemed delayed is now accelerating. You may have noticed a subtle change within yourself since hearing this message. A deeper calm, a stronger awareness, a refusal to ignore your intuition. That shift is not accidental. It is preparation unfolding in real time. The one who had been hiding something important is experiencing inner conflict. Your thoughts are restless. Their sleep may feel disturbed. Their words may come out differently tonight. When truth is about to surface, the soul carrying the secret becomes heavy, and heaviness cannot be hidden forever. Archangel Michael says that exposure under divine timing is different from exposure under human force. When humans push for answers, it creates defense. When heaven allows truth to rise naturally, it creates conviction. Defense leads to resistance. This is why you were instructed to remain calm. Your steadiness is part of the strategy. As the evening deepens, pay attention to the emotional climate around you. Does the air feel thick? Does conversation feel strained? Does silence feel louder than usual? These are indicators that something internal is reaching its breaking point. But understand this clearly. Whatever is revealed is not greater than your ability to handle it. Archangel Michael is reinforcing your emotional boundaries right now. Be strengthening your heart so that you do not absorb what is not yours to carry. The hidden matter belongs to the one who concealed it. You are not responsible for their choice. You are responsible for your response. And your response will determine what happens next. You may wonder why heaven allowed the secret to exist at all. Why not expose it immediately? Why allow tension to build? The answer is growth. Some truths must mature before they are revealed. Some lessons must ripen before they can be understood. If you had discovered this too early, you might not have been ready. But now you are prepared. Revelation is Bradekian. There is also a spiritual cleansing happening in your living space. You may feel an urge to tidy something, to open a window, to move objects around, or even to pray softly in a corner of your home. Follow those instincts. They are subtle ways of restoring balance. Archangel Michael's presence is not loud. He is steady. He is firm. He is protective. His sword represents clarity cutting through confusion. His shield represents peace guarding your emotions. As midnight approaches, the person hiding something may attempt one of two things. They may withdraw further into silence, or they may suddenly become unusually communicative. Both are signs of internal pressure. Do not interpret either as manipulation immediately. Simply observe. Your strength tonight lies in discernment without assumption. If a conversation begins, listen more than you speak. Let them reveal themselves through their own words. Sometimes people confess indirectly first. They test the waters. They measure your reaction. When they see calmness instead of chaos, courage grows inside them. Archangel Michael says your composure will unlock honesty. There is a deeper lesson forming here. You are being taught how to navigate hidden tension without losing your center. This skill will serve you beyond tonight, in future relationships, in future decisions, in future spiritual battles. Nothing about this moment is wasted. If the hidden matter relates to finances, clarity will restore order. If it relates to emotions, honesty will restore connection. If it relates to a broken promise, truth will create a crossroads. At that crossroads, you will choose wisdom. And whatever choice you make, you will not make it from confusion. The night may feel long, but do not rush its unfolding. Sometimes the final hour before revelation feels stretched. That stretching builds endurance. Endurance builds authority. Archangel Michael whispers that you are not the one being tested. The secret is being tested, and secrets cannot survive divine light. There may come a moment when everything suddenly makes sense. A realization so clear that it feels almost obvious. When that happens, do not feel foolish for not seeing it earlier. Divine timing controls awareness. You see when you are meant to see. You were chosen to witness this shift because you are stepping into a higher level of responsibility in your own life. Hidden things cannot remain around someone who is evolving. As this unfolds, guard your tone. Guard your posture. Guard your peace. Peace is your greatest weapon tonight. Archangel Michael stands firm, ensuring that whatever is exposed does not harm you but strengthens you. The clock is moving steadily now, and with each passing moment, the weight of secrecy grows lighter because its end is near. Stay centered. Stay observant. Stay calm. What is about to surface will not break your foundation. It will reveal who truly stands upon it. Steady soul. The night is no longer just approaching midnight. It is leaning into it. You can feel it now. The air feels different. Conversations carry weight. Even silence has texture. This is the hour when hidden things begin to lose their grip. Archangel Michael is closer than you realize. Not in a way that startles, but in a way that stabilizes. His presence tonight is like a firm hand on your shoulder, reminding you that whatever unfolds is already under divine supervision. You are not walking blindly into revelation. You are walking guided. The person who has been hiding something important is reaching their internal limit. Secrets demand energy. They demand mental rehearsal, emotional control, constant adjustment of words and expressions. That energy is draining them, and as it drains them, it strengthens your position. You may notice a subtle crack in their composure, a sigh that carries more than tiredness, a pause before answering a simple question, a flicker of uncertainty in their tone. These are not accidents. They are signs of a truth preparing to surface. Archangel Michael says, do not allow your imagination to run ahead of reality. Stay present. There is a difference between intuition and assumption. Intuition is calm and clear. Assumption is anxious and hurried. Tonight, you are operating through intuition. Something significant is about to align. You may feel the urge to review recent events in your mind. Certain conversations, certain changes in routine, certain inconsistencies that once felt small but now seem connected. Let those thoughts pass through you gently. Do not obsess. Simply observe. The hidden matter has affected the spiritual atmosphere of your home more than you realized. You may have felt moments of unexplained heaviness recently. Perhaps you sensed distance where there used to be ease. That was not random. Secrets create subtle walls, and walls shift energy. Archangel Michael is dismantling those walls tonight. Before midnight, there will be a moment of clarity. It may not arrive with noise. It may not be dramatic. It could be a quiet understanding that settles in your heart with undeniable certainty. When that certainty arrives, honor it. You are not meant to explode with emotion. You are meant to embody calm authority. There is power in controlled response. When you remain steady, you control the atmosphere. The one hiding something will feel that steadiness, and instead of resisting, they may soften. Remember, this exposure is not solely about what was hidden. It is about restoring alignment. Alignment between words and actions. Alignment between trust and transparency. Alignment between peace and honesty. Archangel Michael says that truth is not your enemy. Even if it feels uncomfortable at first, he is your ally. You were chosen to see this before midnight because you have grown beyond reacting from insecurity. You now respond from strength. That growth is visible in the spiritual realm. If the hidden matter relates to a delayed confession, it will likely begin subtly. A person may test your mood. They may ask a general question to sense your emotional state. Do not overanalyze it. Simply stay grounded. If the hidden matter relates to something you might discover on your own, the opportunity to see it will present itself naturally. A message may appear at the right time. A document may surface. A detail may become clear. And when it does, it will feel less like shock and more like confirmation. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something important. Exposure under divine timing protects your dignity. You will not be humiliated. You will not be blindsided in front of others. This clarity is personal. It is contained. It is controlled. As midnight draws nearer, breathe deeply. Slow your thoughts. Anchor yourself in peace. This is a threshold moment. The secret has reached its expiration. Its ability to remain hidden is dissolving. And when it dissolves, you will stand steady. Do not let fear exaggerate the situation. Not every hidden truth is catastrophic. Some are simply misjudgments. Some are delayed honesty. Some are attempts to avoid conflict that unintentionally created greater tension. Whatever it is, it will not overpower you. Archangel Michael is reinforcing your inner boundaries. You will know how much to say. You will know when to speak. You will know when silence is stronger. There is also a deeper transformation happening within you. Tonight marks a turning point in your spiritual maturity. You are learning to face uncertainty without panic, to sense change without losing balance, to prepare without assuming the worst. That is growth, and growth cannot be reversed. Very soon, the waiting will end. The signs will connect. The missing piece will appear. And when it does, your calmness will surprise even you. Archangel Michael stands firm at your side as the clock moves forward. The hidden thing cannot remain hidden much longer. You are ready. Brave heart. You are now standing at the edge of the moment that was foretold. The air feels charged, not with chaos but with inevitability. Midnight is no longer distant. It is near enough that you can almost feel the shift pressing against the present. This is the hour where clarity begins separating itself from concealment. Archangel Michael is not pacing. He is not uncertain. He stands with unwavering assurance, because what is about to unfold has already been filtered through divine permission. Nothing will escape control. Nothing will move beyond what you are prepared to handle. The one who had been hiding something important is experiencing the weight of their silence more intensely now. Secrets become loud inside the person carrying them when exposure draws near. Their thoughts may feel scattered. Their responses may feel delayed. You might note a subtle nervousness where there was once composure. Do not mirror that nervousness. Maintain your center. Your calmness is becoming a mirror. When they look at you, they will not see suspicion. They will see steadiness. And that steadiness will challenge the secrecy more than confrontation ever could. Archangel Michael says this is where emotional discipline matters most. You have sensed this coming. You have been prepared. But preparation must now translate into composure. There may be a conversation that begins unexpectedly. It could start with something unrelated. Casual words. Everyday topics. But beneath those words, there will be an undercurrent. Listen for hesitation. Listen for shifts in tone. Truth often slips through cracks in ordinary dialogue. If a confession begins, let it unfold without interruption. Resist the urge to finish their sentences. Resist the urge to react immediately. Let them speak fully. The more they speak, the more the burden lifts from the atmosphere. If discovery comes silently instead of verbally, hold your peace first. Sometimes observing quietly gives you more power than immediate reaction. Archangel Michael reminds you that wisdom is stronger than impulse. There is something else happening that you may not realize. This moment is testing not your trust in others, but your trust in yourself. Can you rely on your discernment? Can you stand in truth without collapsing into doubt? Tonight, you prove that you can. The hidden matter may not be as extreme as your imagination once feared. Often, the fear of the unknown feels larger than the reality of the revealed. When clarity arrives, you may even feel a strange sense of relief. At least now you know. And knowing restores control. If this message has guided you through this intense build-up, take a moment to like this video, to share it with someone who might be navigating hidden tension in their own life, and to leave a comment declaring that you choose wisdom over reaction. When you engage, you strengthen the reach of messages like this. Subscribe if you have not already, and become part of this growing circle that seeks clarity and spiritual protection. There is power when voices unite in awareness. Now return your focus to the moment. Archangel Michael says that after exposure, there will be a pause, a stillness. That stillness is important. It allows both hearts to adjust. Do not rush to fill that silence with accusations or demands. Let the space breathe. You may feel a mixture of emotions. Surprise, validation, disappointment, relief. All of them are natural. But you are not ruled by emotion. You are guided by discernment. The person who hid something may expect anger. They may brace for harsh words. When they encounter your controlled response instead, it will disarm defensiveness. It will open the possibility of honest dialogue. This is where restoration becomes possible. Not every exposed truth leads to separation. Some lead to stronger foundations. Some lead to deeper transparency. Some lead to boundaries that protect future peace. Archangel Michael says your reaction tonight shapes the future dynamic. Handle it with intention. As the clock inches closer to midnight, you may sense that the peak has either arrived or is seconds away. Do not fear it. You have already walked through the hardest part, the anticipation. The secret is losing its hold. The atmosphere is clearing, and you remain steady. There is still something you need to hear before this unfolds completely. Whatever is revealed does not define your worth. It does not diminish your value. It does not weaken your position. You are not less because someone concealed something. You are strong because you sensed it and stayed composed. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to your maturity tonight. And what happens next will confirm that you were indeed chosen to see this before midnight for a reason. Hold your ground a little longer. The turning point is here. What unfolds in the next moments will bring everything into sharper focus than ever before. Steadfast one. The line between anticipation and revelation has now been crossed. Whether the truth arrived through words, discovery, or quiet realization, something has shifted. The tension that once hovered unspoken has either cracked open or is hanging by its final thread. This is the sacred space after exposure begins, fragile, honest, and filled with possibility. Archangel Michael remains present, not as a warrior in battle, but as a guardian of outcomes. His role now is to ensure that what has surfaced does not spiral into unnecessary damage. You were prepared for this moment, and now you are walking in it. If the hidden truth has already been spoken aloud, you may have noticed something surprising. The weight of uncertainty was heavier than the truth itself. The unknown often feels more frightening than reality. And now that reality is visible, it can be addressed. If the truth has not fully emerged but you sense it trembling beneath the surface, understand this. Sometimes revelation unfolds in layers. The first layer softens the ground. The second reveals depth. The third brings full clarity. Be patient with the process. Archangel Michael says your composure has already altered the direction of this situation. Because you did not erupt, because you did not accuse blindly, because you held your peace, you have shifted the atmosphere from confrontation to conversation. That shift matters more than you realize. The one who concealed something important may now feel vulnerable. Exposure often brings shame or fear of rejection. Watch their body language. Listen to the pauses between their words. Beneath their explanation may be anxiety about losing your trust. This is where your strength becomes healing rather than harsh. You are not required to ignore what happened. You are not required to accept what hurt you without reflection. But you are invited to respond with clarity rather than cruelty. Archangel Michael reminds you that truth revealed under divine timing carries an opportunity for transformation. There may be questions forming in your mind. Why was this hidden? How long has this been known? What else might I not know? These are natural thoughts. But do not let them turn into spirals of suspicion. Ask what needs to be asked calmly. Listen fully to the answers. The energy in your home is already changing. Secrets create pressure. Honesty releases it. Even if the conversation feels uncomfortable, there is relief in openness. You may notice that after the initial reveal, silence returns briefly. That silence is not emptiness. It is recalibration. Both of you adjusting to a new level of transparency. Archangel Michael says this is a defining crossroads. From here, one of two paths will form. Either trust begins rebuilding through honest communication, or boundaries become clearer for your own protection. Neither path is failure, whether growth. If the hidden matter involved a mistake born from fear, compassion may guide your next step. If it involved repeated concealment or intentional harm, wisdom may guide you to strengthen your boundaries. Discernment will show you which is which. Remember, you were chosen to see this before midnight because your spirit is mature enough to navigate the aftermath. There is also something deeper unfolding inside you. You are learning that your intuition was accurate. That validation strengthens your self-trust. In the future, you will not doubt your inner knowing so easily. Archangel Michael says tonight marks the end of self-doubt in your discernment. You sensed the shift. You listened. You stayed calm. And now clarity confirms it. If emotions rise unexpectedly, allow yourself space. You do not have to resolve everything in one conversation. Sometimes healing continues beyond midnight. The prophecy was about exposure. not immediate resolution. And here is something important. Do not allow guilt to enter your heart for uncovering the truth. You did not force it. You did not manipulate it. You were prepared for it. The person involved may even express relief once everything is out in the open. Secrets isolate people. Honesty reconnects them. Even difficult honesty has the power to reconnect. Archangel Michael's presence ensures that whatever path forms next is aligned with your highest good. You are not losing control. You are gaining clarity. As the minutes move forward, you may feel lighter. Even if emotions are mixed, there is lightness in knowing. Lightness in not guessing. Lightness in no longer carrying silent tension. Tonight was not about destruction. It was about illumination. And now that light has entered, you stand different than you did before. Stronger. Wiser. More aware. The midnight hour has either just passed or is passing now. And instead of chaos, there is clarity. Archangel Michael remains near, not because danger is present, but because growth is unfolding. The chapter of secrecy is closing. What you choose next will shape the chapter of transparency. Stand tall in what you now know. Awakened one, the midnight threshold has been crossed, and you are no longer standing in anticipation. You are standing in awareness. What was hidden has either been revealed completely or has begun unraveling in a way that cannot be reversed. The silence that once carried tension now carries truth, and truth changes everything. Archangel Michael's presence in this moment is not loud, but it is powerful. He stands as a witness to what has unfolded and as a guardian over what comes next. The warning was never meant to frighten you. It was meant to prepare you. And now you see why. Take a moment to recognize something important. You handled this differently than you would have in the past. There was a time when you might have reacted quickly, spoken sharply, or allowed emotion to control the atmosphere. But tonight, you chose composure. You chose discernment. You chose strength. And choice has already shifted the outcome. If the truth that surfaced was smaller than your fears imagined, let that realization humble your anxiety. Sometimes we brace for storms, only to find a heavy rain. If the truth was deeper than expected, let that realization strengthen your boundaries. Either way, you are not the same person who first sensed something was wrong. You are now someone who has faced it. Archangel Michael says exposure is only the first half of transformation. The second half is alignment. Now that the truth is visible, everything must realign around it. Words must match actions. Promises must match behavior. Energy must match intention. This is where healing begins, not in denial, but in alignment. You may feel emotionally tired. That is natural. Anticipation drains energy. Revelation releases it, but the body still feels the aftermath. Rest if you can. Speak less than usual tonight. Let your thoughts settle. The one who hid something may be watching you carefully now. They may be trying to interpret your reaction. Remember, your calm strength has already spoken loudly. Continue in that posture. If apologies were offered, weigh them through actions, not just words. If explanations were given, measure them against consistency moving forward. Forgiveness does not require blindness. It requires wisdom. Archangel Michael reminds you that truth, once revealed, demands maintenance. Do not allow things to slide back into silence. If clarity has opened a door, keep that door open through communication. There is also something profound happening inside your spirit. A layer of doubt has been removed. You no longer question whether your intuition was exaggerating. You now trust your inner signal more deeply. That self-trust is a gift. Before tonight, you may have wondered if you were overthinking. Now you understand that discernment is not overthinking. It is awareness guided by divine protection. Archangel Michael says your home feels different now. Even if conversations are still settling, the spiritual atmosphere has shifted. The weight of secrecy is gone or fading. Light has entered, and light always changes the temperature of a room. If this moment has strengthened you, pause and acknowledge it. Growth often happens quietly. There is no applause, no dramatic announcement, just a subtle realization that you handled something with maturity. That maturity is your promotion. The chapter that follows this exposure will depend on both hearts involved. But regardless of the direction it takes, you are not walking backward. You are walking forward with clarity. If this message continues to resonate, type "I walk in truth" in the comments as a declaration over your life. Blessing code 528 is now activated over your path. As truth had been uncovered in your household, understand that supporting the spread of messages like this is an act of keeping light alive in other homes. The Lord declares, those who sow into truth will reap stability. When you release a seed through super thanks, when you join as a member, or when you give through the PayPal link in the description, you are not funding content. You are fueling illumination. You are placing oil in lamps that guide others through their midnight hours. First, I obey the stirring in my spirit, and then heaven responds with increase. That is the principle of the harvest. When you act in generosity, you align yourself with divine flow. Your giving becomes a prophetic declaration that darkness will not dominate your generation. It becomes a stand for clarity in a world of confusion. This is not about obligation. It is about obedience to the nudge you feel right now. As you sow, may your own house remain covered in protection. As you support this mission, may your finances be guarded and multiplied. As you act, may Archangel Michael stand even stronger at your gates. Do not delay what your spirit is prompting. Release your seed now. Strengthen the light now. Participate in the harvest now. You have crossed midnight and emerged clearer than before. And this clarity is only the beginning. Resolute spirit, the night has settled into a new rhythm. What once felt uncertain now feels defined. The air in your space carries less tension, even if conversations are still unfolding. Something invisible but heavy has lifted, and in its place, there is awareness. Archangel Michael remains present, not because danger lingers, but because transition is delicate. After truth is revealed, emotions often move in waves. First comes relief, then reflection, then deeper understanding. You are now entering that reflective stage. You may replay the moment of exposure in your mind. The words that were spoken, the expressions you noticed, the tone in their voice. This is natural. Your mind is processing the shift. But do not allow yourself to become trapped in replay. Reflection should bring insight, not obsession. Archangel Michael says this is the hour to anchor lessons, not relive tension. There are two important realizations forming within you right now. The first is that your intuition is trustworthy. The second is that your peace is powerful. These realizations are not small. They will influence every decision you make moving forward. If the truth revealed a misunderstanding, this is your opportunity to rebuild communication with clarity. If the truth revealed a deeper issue, this is your opportunity to set stronger standards. Either way, you are no longer navigating in the dark, and that changes your posture. The person who concealed something may now be more open than before. Exposure often humbles people. It reminds them that secrecy creates more stress than honesty. Watch whether their behavior aligns with their words in the coming hours and days. Consistency is the true test of sincerity. Archangel Michael reminds you that forgiveness and wisdom must walk together. Forgiveness releases bitterness. Wisdom protects boundaries. You need both. You may feel moments of emotional fluctuation. 1 minute calm. The next minute slightly unsettled. That does not mean you handled it wrong. It means you are human. Emotional adjustment takes time. Be patient with yourself. There is also a deeper spiritual shift taking place. The midnight warning was not only about someone hiding something. It was about elevating your discernment. You now operate from a higher level of awareness. You recognize subtle changes in energy. You trust subtle signals. This is growth that cannot be reversed. Archangel Michael says that tonight has marked a turning point in your personal authority. You no longer ignore internal alarms. You no longer silence your intuition to maintain comfort. You have stepped into alignment with truth. As the night continues, choose peace intentionally. Speak gently. Move calmly. Let your environment settle. If a longer conversation needs to happen, allow it to happen with structure, not emotion-driven bursts. You may also notice that your respect for yourself has increased. That is important. When you remain composed under pressure, self-respect deepens. The secret that once created silent distance is no longer controlling the atmosphere. Even if challenges remain, they are now visible. And visible challenges can be addressed. Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that exposure is not failure. It is correction. It is realignment. It is protection before something grows worse. There is something powerful about the timing of all this. Before midnight, you were prepared. At midnight, truth shifted. After midnight, clarity anchors. This sequence was not random. It was orchestrated. You might even feel gratitude beginning to replace anxiety. Gratitude that the truth surfaced sooner rather than later. Gratitude that you were not left in prolonged uncertainty. Gratitude that your spirit was alert. This gratitude is maturity. As the hours move forward, allow rest to come. Do not carry the entire weight of resolution tonight. Some matters settle over days. What matters most is that light has entered. Archangel Michael says your household is under renewed protection. Vulnerability that secrecy created have been sealed by honesty. Going forward, remain attentive but not suspicious. Remain open but not naive. Remain compassionate but not unguarded. Balance is your new strength. There may come a moment tomorrow or soon after when you reflect on tonight and realize how significant it truly was. It may not have felt dramatic on the outside, but internally, something shifted permanently. You crossed from doubt into confirmation, from tension into clarity, from anticipation into awareness, and that awareness is a gift. Archangel Michael's role now becomes quieter. Protection continues, but urgency fades. The warning has fulfilled its purpose. You were chosen to see this before midnight, and you did. And now you walk forward not as someone blindsided, but as someone prepared. Let the lesson settle. Let the peace expand. Let the clarity guide your next steps. The chapter of secrecy has ended. The chapter of conscious alignment has begun. Anchored 1. The night has fully transitioned, and what once felt urgent has now become understanding. You are no longer bracing for impact. You are standing in the aftermath of revelation, and you are stronger than you were hours ago. The difference between who you were before midnight and who you are now is subtle but powerful. Archangel Michael's presence is steady, like a silent guardian ensuring that what was corrected does not slip back into disorder. The exposure was not the end of something. It was the recalibration of something. And recalibration requires attention. You may notice that your perception of the person involved has shifted. Not necessarily toward distrust, but toward clarity. You see more now. You observe patterns more carefully. You listen differently. This is not paranoia. This is wisdom sharpened by experience. The truth that surfaced has removed illusion. Illusion often keeps us comfortable, but it also keeps us unaware. Now awareness is your companion. Archangel Michael says this is the stage where you solidify boundaries gently but firmly. You do not need dramatic declarations. You do not need emotional speeches. Sometimes a calm statement of expectation is enough. Sometimes consistent observation speaks louder than confrontation. The person who hid something important may be making an effort now. Watch their effort without skepticism, but also without blind acceptance. Change is proven through repetition, not through a single conversation. You are learning to operate from centered authority. There may be a lingering question inside you. Why did this have to happen? The answer is growth. Growth rarely comes through comfort alone. It often comes through exposure of what was misaligned. Archangel Michael reminds you that this event has strengthened your spiritual muscles. You handled uncertainty without chaos. You faced revelation without collapsing. That resilience will serve you in future moments you cannot yet see. If this message has walked with you through this entire journey, take a moment now to like this video, to share it with someone who might be standing on the edge of their own midnight moment, and to comment that you choose clarity over confusion. When you engage, you amplify this voice of awareness for others who need preparation. Subscribe if you have not already, and join this growing circle of discernment and protection. Your participation matters more than you realize. Now return your focus inward. The next phase is maintenance. Truth revealed must be maintained by transparency. If conversations need to continue, let them be structured and intentional. Do not allow things to drift back into vague understanding. Clarity should remain clear. Archangel Michael says that your energy has shifted from reactive to responsive. That is maturity. In the past, you might have confronted quickly or withdrawn completely. Now you stand balanced. You may also feel an increase in self-respect. That is natural. When you navigate a tense situation with composure, you reinforce your own worth. The hidden matter that once created distance no longer controls the dynamic. Even if healing takes time, the foundation is no longer built on silence. As daylight approaches or as the new day begins, carry yourself with quiet confidence. There is no need to broadcast what happened. There is no need to seek validation from others. This was a private correction guided by divine timing. Archangel Michael stands as a reminder that not every battle requires noise. Some victories happen in silence. You were chosen to see this before midnight because you were ready to step into greater discernment. That discernment is now active in you. Trust it. Going forward, remain observant but not anxious. Remain kind but not careless. Remain open but not unaware. Balance will protect your peace. There may be moments in the coming days where small tests appear. Opportunities to see whether old patterns resurface. Do not panic if they do. Simply address them calmly and immediately. Ilgrekin prevents deeper tension. Archangel Michael says your household has entered a season of higher transparency. That does not mean perfection. It means awareness. You are no longer operating blindly. Take pride in your growth, but remain humble in your approach. Growth continues beyond this moment. This midnight was one milestone among many in your journey. As you reflect, you may realize something surprising. The fear of what might happen was greater than what actually happened. That realization teaches you not to let imagination create storms before clouds gather. Confidence replaces anxiety now. And as you step into this new clarity, hold on to the lesson. When your spirit senses something, pause and listen. Reverie is protection. The urgency has passed. The lesson remains. The strength remains. The clarity remains. You stand in a new chapter, not because everything is perfect, but because everything is visible. And visibility is power. Steady guardian of your own peace, the intensity of the midnight hour has now softened into reflection, and what remains is wisdom. The emotional waves have calmed. The conversations have either concluded or settled into a quieter understanding. You are no longer standing in suspense. You are standing in insight. Archangel Michael's presence now feels less urgent and more affirming. His assignment during the warning was to prepare you. His assignment during the exposure was to protect you. Now his assignment is to strengthen what was learned. Protection does not end when truth is revealed. It continues as clarity becomes a lifestyle. Look at how far you have come in just one night. You sensed something. You did not ignore it. You were prepared in advance. You handled revelation with composure. That sequence alone shows growth that cannot be undone. You may notice that your thoughts are clearer today. There is less mental noise, less guessing, less second-guessing yourself. That quietness inside your mind is a reward for facing truth rather than avoiding it. The person who hid something important may also be moving differently now. Sometimes exposure humbles people in a way that sermons cannot. They may be more transparent, more careful with their words, more aware of your sensitivity. This is not something to control, but something to observe over time. Archangel Michael reminds you that trust is rebuilt through consistency. Do not rush restoration, but do not resist it if genuine effort appears. Allow actions to speak. There is something deeper that you must recognize. This was not just about uncovering someone else's hidden matter. It was about uncovering your own strength. Before midnight, you may have doubted your ability to handle whatever was concealed. Now you know you can. That self-knowledge is powerful. You are less afraid of the unknown now because you have experienced facing it directly. Fear loses authority when confronted calmly. There may still be moments where a small detail resurfaces in your mind. A question you forgot to ask. A clarification you want to make. Approach those moments gently. Not with accusation, but with curiosity. Clear communication now prevents future misunderstandings. Archangel Michael says that what happened has fortified your boundaries. You are less likely to ignore subtle warning signs in the future. Not because you are suspicious, but because you are attentive. Attention is not anxiety. It is awareness. The midnight message served its purpose. You were chosen to see this before it could surprise you. That preparation shifted everything. Imagine if you had discovered the truth without warning. The reaction may have been explosive. Instead, it was measured. This proves that divine preparation matters. You may also sense that your spiritual connection feels stronger. When guidance aligns with outcome, trust deepens. You listened, and it proved valuable. That builds confidence in your intuition. Archangel Michael stands as confirmation that you are not alone in moments of hidden tension. Even when circumstances feel private and internal, protection surrounds you. Now comes integration. Integration means allowing this experience to shape you without hardening you. Remain open-hearted but wiser. Remain trusting but observant. Remain compassionate, but grounded. There is a balance between softness and strength. You are learning to hold both. As the new day unfolds, carry yourself differently. Not arrogantly, but confidently. You navigated something delicate with grace. It deserves acknowledgement. The person involved may also feel relief. Secrets isolate. Honesty reconnects. If reconnection is meant to happen, it will strengthen gradually. If distance becomes necessary, it will become clear peacefully. Archangel Michael says, do not rush future decisions. Let clarity breathe for a while. Major choices do not need to be made immediately after exposure. Give space for stability to form. There is peace available now. Not the peace of ignorance, but the peace of awareness. That peace is stronger. You might look around your home and sense a lighter atmosphere. That is not imagination. When truth replaces secrecy, energy shifts. This entire sequence has prepared you for greater responsibility in your life. Discernment is not given lightly. It is developed through moments like this. Soon, this night will feel like a memory rather than a tension. But the lessons will remain. You now understand that preparation before midnight can prevent chaos after midnight. Archangel Michael remains a quiet guardian, not because threat lingers, but because growth continues. And as you move forward, you do so with clearer eyes, steadier emotions, and deeper trust in your inner guidance. A warning was fulfilled. The truth was faced. The strength was revealed. Now you stand refined. Beloved keeper of light, this is the closing of a moment that was never random. What began as a warning before midnight has now become a testimony of preparation, exposure, and growth. You were not chosen to hear that message by accident. You were chosen because your spirit was ready to rise to a higher level of awareness. Look at what has happened. A hidden matter surfaced. A tension dissolved. A truth emerged. And you did not collapse. You did not lose control. You did not allow fear to dominate your response. Instead, you stood steady. Archangel Michael's warning was not about fear. It was about positioning. When heaven positions you ahead of a revelation, it is because your peace matters. Your stability matters. Your household matters. The midnight hour came and went, but instead of chaos, there was clarity. Instead of confusion, there was confirmation. Instead of weakness, there was strength. That is not ordinary. You may now see the full picture more clearly. The hidden thing was not just about someone else's silence. It was about your spiritual promotion. It was about sharpening your discernment. It was about teaching you that intuition guided by divine protection is trustworthy. You have crossed into a new level of awareness. Archangel Michael says the sword of truth has done its work. Not to wound, but to separate deception from reality. Not to destroy, but to refine. And now comes the most important part, what you carry forward. Carry forward your calmness. Carry forward your self-trust. Carry forward the lesson that preparation is protection. When your spirit senses something in the future, you will not ignore it. You will pause. You will listen. You will prepare. The person involved may continue adjusting. Conversations may still unfold. Healing may still progress. But the foundation is no longer built on secrecy. It is built on light. Light exposes, but it also heals. Archangel Michael stands at the threshold of your life not only as a warrior, but as a guardian of alignment. When things drift into shadows, he brings awareness. When tension builds silently, he sends warning. When truth needs to rise, he clears the path. You were chosen to see this before midnight because your peace was too valuable to be blindsided. And now, as this chapter closes, you are stronger. Take a deep breath and recognize it. You handled a delicate situation with maturity. You allowed revelation without destruction. You remained grounded when emotion could have taken over. That is growth. If this entire journey has spoken directly to your spirit, type "I stand in divine light" in the comments as a declaration over your life. Blessing code 901 is now activated over your household and your future decisions. As this message ends, understand something sacred. The same way truth was released into your home, light must continue to be released into other homes. The Lord declares, "Those who carry my light will never walk in darkness." When you sow into this mission through Super Thanks, when you become a member, or when you give through the PayPal link in the description, you are not supporting a channel. You are igniting lamps in places where confusion still reigns. I respond to the call placed on my heart, and heaven responds to my obedience. That is the law of spiritual harvest. Every seed you release becomes oil in the lamp of someone standing before their own midnight. Every act of generosity becomes a shield over your household. As you give, may your home remain covered. As you sow, may clarity multiply in your life. As you support this mission, may Archangel Michael stand firmly at your gates. Do not delay the prompting you feel. Act in faith. Release your seed. Strengthen the light. Stand with this mission now. This was never just a warning. It was an awakening.